You know that feeling.
Yeah.
Waking up and your joints just feel stiff,
Mm.
like your knees or maybe your hands are just arguing with you a bit.
Yeah, and it's not like you banged it or fell.
No, exactly. Just that persistent ache that seems to come from nowhere.
You really can feel like your own body is, well, making things harder.
It's something so many people run into, isn't it?
Yeah.
And we often just chalk it up to getting older.
Right. Oh, well, that's just part of aging. But what's really fascinating, and maybe a bit surprising,
Yeah.
is that sometimes the very foods we think are healthy, the ones we're choosing carefully, they could actually be, part of the problem contributing to that discomfort.
Exactly. You might be trying to stay active, eat right, doing all the things you're supposed to.
Thinking you're ticking all the boxes.
Yeah. And yet that joint pain, it just hangs around. Or maybe even gets a bit worse. Millions of us over 60 know this frustration.
We really do. And what if there's this hidden link? Something maybe in your daily diet you wouldn't even suspect.
That's a bit of a wake-up call.
It can be, because certain foods, even some healthy ones, can sort of fuel this internal fire. Inflammation.
Okay, inflammation. We hear that word a lot.
We do. And this isn't just vague general inflammation. We're talking about the kind that can really zero in on your joints, slowly wearing them down, leading to that stiffness, the swelling, and that feeling, of maybe losing a bit of your independence.
It's actually more common than people might realize. I think the CDC data shows nearly half of Americans over 65 have arthritis.
That's right, nearly half. And diet is just such a major factor that often gets overlooked.
You think, oh, it's wear and tear. Or genetics.
Yes, which play a role, of course. But it's often this internal inflammation really stirred up by what we eat.
Okay. But is there anything we can actually do about it?
That's the encouraging part, yes. Once you start to understand what might be triggering that inflammation for you.
You can take some control back.
Exactly, you can take control. By knowing which foods might be better to, ease up on.
Yeah.
And which ones to maybe bring in more often. You can really support your joints, help calm things down inside, and hopefully, get back some of that ease of movement.
So that's what we're diving into today. We're going to look at 5 foods that might be, well, surprisingly linked to joint pain.
And importantly, we'll offer some really tasty alternatives. Foods that can help you feel better and stay mobile, especially after 60.
Right. Now, just quickly, if you've ever felt that morning stiffness or those aches we're talking about, hitting that like button actually helps other people find this info too.
It really does.
And if you want more tips on staying strong and healthy as we age, definitely think about subscribing to Stronger After 60.
Okay, so let's jump into that first surprising food. And this is one lots of us enjoy starting the day with.
Okay, I'm ready. What is it?
Breakfast pastries and those, sweetened cereals.
The easy options. Like a muffin or a quick bowl of cereal with coffee.
Precisely. It seems like such a gentle, convenient way to start the morning.
The easy. I sense a but coming.
But here's the catch. Many of these popular breakfast choices are just loaded with refined carbohydrates and often hidden sugars.
And those are the troublemakers for inflammation.
They can be major drivers, yeah. Especially when it comes to our joints as we get older. It's easy to think, oh, a little bit of sugar, what's the harm?
Right. It's just breakfast.
But refined carbs, think white flour and pastries, the processed grains and sugary cereals, even some healthy-looking granolas, they break down into sugar really fast in your body.
Okay, so it hits your system quickly.
Very quickly, and that causes a rapid spike in your blood sugar.
And that spike is the problem.
That spike triggers the release of these inflammatory messengers. They're called cytokines.
Cytokines. It's like little alarm signals.
Kind of. They tell your immune system to react. But sometimes they mistakenly trigger inflammation right there in your joint tissues.
Ouch. Leading to that aching feeling.
Exactly. And it's not just a one-off thing. If this happens often, these repeated spikes contribute to this low-grade chronic inflammation.
Like a slow burn, almost.
That's a great way to put it. A slow burn that damages cartilage over time, increases swelling, and makes arthritis pain worse.
And you mentioned refined flour. So even things like white bread or biscuits.
Yes, because they lack fiber. Fiber helps slow down sugar absorption. Without it, you get that blood sugar roller coaster.
And your joints feel the bumps.
They can. There's research, I think, in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, linking diets high in refined carbs to higher C-reactive protein.
C-reactive protein.
Oh, yeah.
That's a marker for inflammation, right?
It is. It's a clear sign your body's dealing with inflammation, which is strongly tied to joint pain and osteoarthritis.
So that innocent-looking muffin might be doing more harm than we think.
It potentially could be, yes. But look, the good news is you don't have to give up breakfast.
Okay, good. What's the swap?
It's about making smarter swaps. Think about this. Oats with berries and maybe a little omega-3 boost.
Oats, like steel-cut oats.
Steel-cut are fantastic. Or even rolled oats, just not the instant sugary kind. They're packed with soluble fiber.
Which slows down the sugar release.
Exactly. Regulates blood sugar, no big spikes. Plus, they're minimally processed, so you get steady energy.
Okay. And berries. Why berries?
Oh, berries are wonderful. Blueberries, raspberries, blackberries. They're loaded with antioxidants called anthocyanins.
Anthocyanins.
Got it.
And these have been shown to actually reduce joint inflammation and protect cartilage.
Wow, okay. And you said an omega-3 boost, like flaxseed.
Ground flaxseed is perfect.
Yep.
Or chia seeds. They're rich in plant-based omega-3s, ALA specifically. Studies suggest ALA can help ease arthritis symptoms in seniors.
So oats, berries, flaxseed. That sounds pretty good, actually.
It tastes great. And it's soothing inflammation, good for your heart, digestion, energy. A win-win.
And you can do overnight oats, right? Make it ahead.
Absolutely. Just as convenient as grabbing a pastry, but infinitely better for your joints.
Okay, that's one down. What's the second surprising food? You mentioned it might be in the fridge.
Yes, this next one, it's often marketed as lean or high protein. But for folks with arthritis, it can be a hidden trigger. Intriguing. What is it?
Processed meats.
Ah, like bacon, sausage, jelly meats.
Cold cuts.
Exactly those.
Yeah.
Bacon, sausage, ham, smoked turkey, hot dogs. The list goes on.
Right. And I know, a couple slices of bacon or a ham sandwich, it doesn't seem like a huge deal.
That's the common thought. But when we're really focused on joint health, especially over 60, it's not just the fat or the salt, though those can be issues too. It's more about what these meats do at a cellular level.
Okay, tell me more.
Well, most processed meats contain preservatives, like nitrites.
Right.
And they also contain compounds called advanced glycation end products. AGs for short.
ADGs. Never heard of them.
They form when foods, especially proteins and fats, are cooked at high temperatures or heavily processed. Think grilling, frying, smoking.
Like how bacon gets crispy. Or sausage browns.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And these AGGs, once they're in your body, they act like, well, like little accelerators for aging and inflammation.
Accelerator. They fuel oxidative stress, that imbalance that damages cells, and they directly promote inflammation, particularly in joint tissues.
So they can actually worsen stiffness and cartilage breakdown.
That's what the research suggests. Increased stiffness, faster cartilage breakdown, worsening osteoarthritis symptoms. There's a large study in arthritis and rheumatology, I believe. It linked frequent processed meat consumption to higher levels of markers for joint degradation, especially in people over 60.
Wow. I was just worried about blood pressure or heart health with those.
And those are valid concerns, but the impact on joints is significant too. It's like they speed up the aging process right inside your joints.
So if you're trying to stay active and mobile,
that seemingly innocent sandwich or breakfast sausage could be undermining your efforts quietly.
Okay, definitely something to think about. So what's the alternative here? Better protein sources.
Absolutely. Think anti-inflammatory proteins. Wild-caught salmon is a superstar.
It's rich in omega-3s, right?
The best kind. EPA and DHA. They've been shown time and again to reduce joint stiffness and tenderness in both rheumatoid and osteoarthritis.
Good. What about plant-based options?
Excellent question. Lentils and beans are fantastic.
Oh, I like lentils.
They're great anti-inflammatory proteins, plus high in fiber, folate, and these things called polyphenols, which fight that oxidative stress and help with joint repair.
Okay.
And a practical idea. Try making your own veggie patties. Mash up some lentils or chickpeas, add chopped spinach, maybe some onion, and turmeric.
Turmeric again, it keeps popping up.
For very good reason. The active compound, curcumin, is a powerful anti-inflammatory. Studies show it can be as effective as some OTC pain meds for some people.
Really? Without the side effects?
Generally, yes. And here's a tip. Always add a pinch of black pepper with turmeric. It dramatically boosts how much curcumin your body absorbs.
Turmeric and black pepper. Got it.
Imagine biting into a delicious homemade patty knowing it's actively helping your joints feel better.
That's a much better feeling than eating something that might cause pain later. Okay. 2 down. What's number 3? You said this one was once considered healthy.
Yes, this one really might surprise people because for a long time it was pushed as a healthier alternative to, say, butter or lard.
Okay.
But it might be quietly fueling inflammation. I'm talking about certain vegetable oils.
Vegetable oils.
Yeah.
Like corn oil.
Yeah.
Soybean oil.
Exactly. The third surprising food. Vegetable oils high in omega-6 fatty acids. Corn, soybean, sunflower, safflower, cottonseed, often just labeled vegetable oil.
And these are in, well, a lot of things, aren't they?
They are everywhere. Check labels on salad dressings, mayonnaise, margarines, baked goods, crackers, peanut butter, even some roasted nuts. They're cheap, flavorless, highly processed.
The problem is the omega-6. Don't we need some omega-6?
We do need some, absolutely.
Yeah.
But the issue is the balance between omega-6 and omega-3 fatty acids.
Okay.
The typical Western diet is way off balance. We get maybe 15, even 20 times more omega-6 than omega-3.
20 times.
Yeah. And that huge imbalance promotes inflammation throughout the body.
Including the joint.
Including the joints. It leads to more swelling, more cartilage breakdown. Research from places like Harvard has linked this omega-6 dominance to triggering inflammatory pathways.
Leading to chronic pain, flare-ups.
Yes, potentially contributing to chronic pain, arthritis flare-ups, even autoimmune reactions, especially as we get older.
So even if you're trying to eat clean, cooking with the wrong oil could sabotage you.
It absolutely could. It's a hidden source of irritation for many.
Okay, this is crucial. What oils should we be using then?
Great question. Swap those out for oils like extra virgin olive oil. Or cold-pressed avocado oil.
Olive oil, the Mediterranean diet staple.
Precisely. It's linked to lower arthritis pain, better mobility, slower joint aging. It contains oleocanthal.
Oleo what now?
Oleocanthal. It's a natural compound in extra virgin olive oil that actually mimics the effects of ibuprofen by blocking inflammatory enzymes, gently, naturally.
That's incredible. And avocado oil.
Also excellent, heart-healthy, joint-friendly monounsaturated fats, supports cartilage, reduces stiffness. Plus, it has a higher smoke point than olive oil, so it's good for higher heat cooking.
So just changing the cooking oil makes a difference.
A huge difference. And another step, boost your omega-3s. Fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, sardines.
Or the flax and chia seeds we mentioned.
Yes, and walnuts. Or even a quality fish oil or algae-based supplement if you don't eat fish.
So it's all about getting that omega-6, omega-3 ratio back in balance.
That's one of the most powerful dietary shifts you can make to cool down inflammation and protect your joints long term. Think about making a stir-fry with olive or avocado oil instead of generic vegetable oil. Soothing, not irritating.
It's about smart swaps, not deprivation.
Exactly. Now, speaking of swaps, I'm curious. For those listening, have you noticed any particular foods that seem to make your joints ache more? Maybe something you eat regularly?
Yeah, share your experiences in the comments below. It's really helpful to hear what others are noticing too.
Definitely. Okay, moving on to number 4. This is another really common one.
A comfort food, maybe.
Often, yes. A classic side dish, starchy, salty, often found next to meatloaf or burgers.
Oh, no. Don't say it. Is it? French fries.
You got it. The 4th surprising food, French fries and fried potatoes.
Oh, man. Even baked fries.
Well, let's break it down. Even potatoes themselves, regular white potatoes, are high in starchy carbs.
Which act like sugar in the body.
Pretty much, yes. They can cause those blood sugar spikes we talked about, triggering inflammation, leading to more stiffness.
Okay, so the potato itself is part of it.
It can be, but the real problem comes with frying.
Because of the oil.
That's a big part of it. Fries are usually cooked in those inflammatory omega-6 oils, soybean, corn oil, so it's like a double dose of joint irritation.
The starchy potato and the inflammatory oil. A double whammy.
Exactly, and there's more. Frying potatoes at high temperatures creates chemicals called acrylamides.
Acrylamides. What do they do?
They're linked to increased oxidative stress and inflammation in our cells, especially as we age. One study, I think it was in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition back in 2016.
What did it find?
It linked high consumption of fried foods, especially potatoes, to worsen joint pain and decrease mobility in older adults, particularly women over 60.
It's tough because, like you said, they're comfort food.
Yeah.
Easy, familiar, maybe even nostalgic.
They really are. But when you're actively fighting arthritis, trying to maintain your independence, that temporary comfort might come at too high a cost for your joints.
So what's the joint-friendlier alternative? We need that starchy side sometime.
Absolutely. Swap the white potato fries for roasted sweet potatoes.
Sweet potatoes. Okay, I like those.
They're brilliant. Rich in beta-carotene, vitamin C nutrients that support collagen production and reduce oxidative damage in joints.
And they don't spike blood sugar as much.
They're lower on the glycemic index, yes. More stable energy, less inflammation trigger.
And roasting avoids the acrylamides.
Correct. Plus, you can control the oil. Toss sweet potato wedges with a little extra virgin olive oil, maybe some rosemary or thyme, or even that turmeric and black pepper.
Ooh, turmeric sweet potato wedges.
Bake them at around 400 degrees until they're tender inside and crispy outside. You get that satisfying texture, but it's actually good for your joints.
That sounds like a delicious swap. You really can eat well and protect your health.
That's the whole message. Okay, on to our final, fifth surprising food.
The last one, what is it?
This one is particularly sneaky. It hides in plain sight, often behind healthy labels.
Uh-oh, like what?
Think granola bars, leat yogurts, fruit drinks, even some protein shakes.
Hidden sugars.
Bingo. The fifth surprising food, hidden sugars in seemingly healthy packaged foods.
We know sugar is bad for joints generally.
Right, that's becoming common knowledge. But the shock is how much added sugar is hiding in foods marketed specifically to health-conscious people, including seniors.
Give me some examples.
Okay, flavored yogurts, even low-fat ones, fruit juices and bottled smoothies, many granola and protein bars, lots of breakfast cereals, even those claiming to be heart-healthy.
And they can have a lot of sugar.
A shocking amount. 10, 15, sometimes over 20 grams of added sugar per serving. That's like eating a candy bar.
Wow. And this added sugar causes that same inflammatory cascade.
It does. Sugar hits the bloodstream, insulin spikes, the liver gets stressed, and you get more of those damaging AGE's advanced glycation end products.
The ones that damage proteins in the joints.
Exactly. It's like pouring gasoline on the inflammatory fire in your joints. Again, studies link high added sugar intake directly to increased arthritis pain, especially in older women.
It's so deceptive. You grab a light yogurt thinking you're doing good.
And it might have more sugar than ice cream. You have to become a label detective.
So how do we satisfy a sweet tooth without triggering pain?
Great question. It's about choosing smarter sweet options.
Like what?
Instead of that sugary flavored yogurt, go for plain, unsweetened Greek yogurt.
Okay, plain can be a bit plain.
But then you add your own flavor. Sprinkle on some cinnamon, which has anti-inflammatory effects itself.
Ooh, good idea.
And add fresh berries, strawberries, blueberries, natural sweetness, plus those antioxidants and compounds that help protect cartilage.
So plain yogurt plus cinnamon plus berries. That sounds nice.
It really is. You get sweetness, protein, fiber, gut-friendly probiotics, all good things.
What if you need a little more sweetness? What about honey or other sweeteners?
Small amounts of raw honey, especially something like Manuka honey, can be okay. It has a lower glycemic impact than refined sugar and offers some immune support. But moderation is key. The main goal is replacing the harmful hidden sugars with whole food sweetness.
Replace harmful with healing. I like that.
That's the core principle. It's not about denial. It's about making informed, beneficial choices.
So we've covered these 5 surprising foods. This is knowledge a lot of people probably aren't getting from their regular checkups.
Unfortunately, that's often true, but the key takeaway, the really empowering message here, is that joint pain as we get older isn't just inevitable. It's not just aging or genetics. So much of it is driven by inflammation.
And that inflammation is hugely influenced by our diet.
Massively. So you are not powerless. You're not broken. You don't just have to live with the pain.
There are things we can do. We can reduce inflammation, support our joints.
Absolutely. You really can. And it starts small, one swap at a time.
Okay, let's recap those swaps quickly.
Right. Swap refined carbs like pastries and sugary cereals for oats and berries.
Swap processed meats for wild salmon or maybe homemade lentil patties.
Swap those omega-6 vegetable oils for extra virgin olive oil or avocado oil.
Swap French fries for delicious roasted sweet potatoes.
And swap sugary snacks and yogurts for plain yogurt with cinnamon and real fruit.
It changes how you think about eating, doesn't it?
It does. It's not just filling your stomach anymore. It's actively choosing foods that support your mobility, your dignity, your independence.
That's really what it means to be stronger after 60.
Exactly that.
Well, this has been incredibly insightful. If this information about managing joint pain through food choices was helpful for you, please do click that like button.
It genuinely helps spread the word to others who might need to hear this.
And if you haven't already, hit subscribe, because next time we're going to do a deep dive into a really powerful anti-inflammatory spice, one that many people actually use incorrectly. You won't want to miss that.
It's a good one. Thanks for tuning in, everyone.
Thank you so much for spending this time with us. And remember, your best years truly can still be ahead of you.